Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this. Welcome back to another prediction video on the channel. Today is League One time. What we're going to be doing is predicting how League One is going to be looking at the end of the season. It's always an interesting time of the year, previewing how things are going to be going. I'm joined by Adam. Now, what is going to be happening is that you'll see the bottom half and then the top half of each table and what our predictions have been. Now, myself and Adam have not seen each other's predictions of what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be going through it step by step, but you're going to see what we have said as we kind of discuss and go through it, if that makes sense.
I'd like to preface my predictions as pure guesswork. This league and League Two, I literally don't follow. I'm going to come out with that now.
Right, okay.
So I know some bits about the teams and I know some stuff, but this is just a competition for me to see if I can beat James and his research. Because my research on this one and the next one has literally been limited to minutes. Whereas I know you've put a lot of thought into it.
I have.
Commendation to James for actually going for it properly.
Yes, but if you are a fan of any team from League One, or you disagree or agree with what myself and Adam are about to say, let us know down in the comment section. We would be really interested in hearing what you have to say about your particular club. So let's talk about the bottom four to begin with. Now, I think this should be fairly obvious. My bottom two are Bury and Bolton, obviously dealing with the points deduction. I can't see how either team's going to do particularly well. They're both clubs in crisis. Do you agree?
Bury, bottom.
Yeah.
I think Bolton might be okay. So, well, not okay, but they're not there. Bury, then Southend. I've got.
Okay, right.
Just casting that.
It's a massive difference between what I've said. So my bottom four are Bury, Bolton, Tranmere and Rochdale.
Bury, Southend, Bristol, Rovers, who then I suddenly thought they probably deserve to be a bit higher up, and AFC Wimbledon.
Okay. Do you want to talk me through yours, or are yours just purely guesswork at this point?
At this point, other than Bury, and the fact that I know that Southend didn't play the best of football last year,
right?
From some stuff like Bristol Rovers, I don't know too much about, and I thought I'd take a guess at them coming down there. AFC Wimbledon, first time at this level, I believe, isn't it? Oh, is it not? Oh no, it might be. Let's see what I see. See, this is my evidence. At least I've got my evidence on camera.
No.
I think AFC Wimbledon are going to really struggle.
Okay, that's fair enough. It's absolutely fair enough. I've gone for Bury and Bolton as the bottom two because I said points deductions and their clubs are absolutely free fall. Thank you very much, EFL. Tranmere, I think losing Norwood to Ipswich, then I wouldn't go so far to say they were a one-man team last season, but you can't lose that many goals and expect to be all right. I think they're going to struggle. And Rochdale, I just think that their time at this level is over. I think they're really going to struggle. And then kind of teams just outside it, I've gone for Shrewsbury just finishing in 20th. I've gone for AFC Wimbledon 19th. So AFC Wimbledon kind of near where you said. I think they are going to struggle as a club. Who have you got as the two outside?
Accrington Stanley and Bolton.
Okay. Well, I've put Bolton as one of the teams to get relegated. Accrington are nowhere near what that is on my predictions, so we'll talk about that in a moment. I've then got Coventry and Wickham. I think Coventry not being able to play at their home ground is going to have a massive impact. And
people are going to be rolling all over the floor at my predictions.
Right, okay. I like what Coventry have got. They've got a very, very good manager in Mark Robbins, and they've got a decent youth set up there. But I think, as I said, just the fact they've got to now go to Birmingham for every single one of their home games now. It's just
I know that's
a terrible
a thing,
situation at a club with so much history. It's horrible to see.
They've still got some half decent players though.
They have.
I don't know. I'm not 100% bought on that argument.
Okay, fair enough. We've got. I've then got. So Wickham in 17th. So who are your 18th and 17th?
I've then got Oxford and MK Dons.
Okay, well I've got MK Dons finishing a couple of places above that.
Okay.
And yeah, so I
think they'll do okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they'll do all right.
But they've got the setup for it.
They have. They've got the area, they've got the catchment, they've got the stadium, they've got the facilities, and obviously recently promoted again. They're back in League One again. But yeah, I think they're going to finish in 15th. I think they'll have an okay season. I've got Blackpool in 16th. Obviously, just lost their manager again during the summer. He decided he doesn't want to be a manager. He said he never intended to be a manager. He took over at a difficult time for the club and stepped in when required, which is very admirable of him. But yeah, I think they're going to. They'll finish lower than what they did last season. So yeah, my opinion.
I have Rochdale followed by Wycombe.
Okay, I mean Wycombe we've kind of got more or less in the same sort of places. I think they'll do okay this season. I massively underestimated them last season and they did very well.
They're a decent squad.
Yeah, and they are well coached by Gareth Ainsworth. I really like him as a manager. And then I've got Lincoln and Bristol Rovers. I think Bristol Rovers are going to be okay this season. And I think Lincoln are just going to have a really, really good momentum and a good bounce from last season. They're a good club managed by two very, very good, the Cowley brothers.
I have Blackpool and Tranmere following up. I think similar to you with Blackpool, just with they've had a chance to.
Yeah, but you think Tranmere are going
Tranmere higher up from you? Like I said on a previous video, I don't believe one man makes a team, and whilst the goals won't be entirely be able to be replaced by one person straight away, I still think that I don't think they're going to fall that far out of grades as such.
Okay, let's move on to the top half then. So this is both of our predictions for the top half of the table. Let's go for it bit by bit. I've got Southend finishing in 12th. You had them as one of your relegation teams.
Yeah.
It was so unbelievably tight last year. They were right down there and survived on like the last game of the season.
Yeah,
but I think they've kept Kevin Bond as the manager. I think they've made some astute signings. I think they'll be all right.
Okay. I've gone for Shrewsbury.
Okay. Where did I have Shrewsbury again? I had them 20th. So we're miles.
Yeah, we're miles
apart on these ones. I've got Accrington in 11th, whereas you had them. Just outside. Wasn't it?
Yeah. I've got Fleetwood. I know very little about Fleetwood, but I thought, let's have a little punt.
Okay. I've got Oxford in 10th.
Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, Lincoln.
I think they
could do very well this season. To be honest, they walked away with League Two in the end and just run very well now.
I think they've got everything. Again, I think they'll do fine in this league.
I always predict Oxford to be in the playoffs. So this year I'm going to go lower, so in the hope that they do quite well. I've got Doncaster finishing in 9th. I think it's going to be a very interesting season for Darren Moore as their new manager. Obviously, Grant McCann's gone to Hull.
Yeah.
I mean, people were saying it was a disgrace that he got sacked by West Brom, so he might do very well. Again, another one of his old clubs in Doncaster, but.
When there's all these management changes, though, it's tricky to call, isn't it?
Yeah, it is difficult to say.
You don't really know what's going to happen and how players are going to adapt. Yeah. I've gone Rotherham.
That low down?
Next, yes.
Really? Wow, okay. Thoughts on that? Why?
Because I felt like... Well, the thing is, like, you've spoken about Coventry quite low down. I've put them quite high up.
Right.
So because of it's basically just momentum of where I felt other teams have gone has meant they've slipped.
Okay.
And I felt a bit unsure about a couple of teams, so I've raised them above it. Rotherham are a team that probably will do quite well, and I'll be massively wrong.
Okay.
But I don't mind getting these wrong.
No, that's fair enough. I've got Gillingham in 8th.
Yep.
So is that the first one we've agreed on?
Yes.
Wow. I like. I'm going to rephrase it. I don't like Steve Evans as a manager, but he's a very good manager at this level, and I think he's made some really, really good signings. I think they're going to do quite well this year. I didn't have them doing anything last season, and I'm predicting them to do quite well.
I think they'll be fine this year.
Yeah. Fleetwood 7th. If Joey Barton can remain as their manager and he doesn't get sent to prison, he has developed a really good squad there.
Yeah.
He's used his connections and he's got a lot of young players at that team. I think they're going to do all right.
The thing is, though, they could have a lot of disruption, so it just depends.
Very true. Very, very true. Who have you got in 7th?
Doncaster.
Okay, so near or thereabouts.
We're only within a few spaces on some of these.
Right, into the playoffs now. I have got Burton 6th, Peterborough 5th, Ipswich in 4th, and Rotherham in 3rd. Who are your...
I genuinely think Coventry will do it despite the ground, because I think they've got the squad.
Big call.
To do it.
Big call.
Then Burton.
Okay. So you've got Burton 5th, I had them the 6th.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a decent season this time.
Then Ipswich.
In
4th.
Okay, so we both said 4th.
And then Sunderland.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Ipswich, obviously your club.
Yeah.
Thoughts on how things have been going this summer, honestly?
Frustration with the transfers. Frustration with the injuries.
Yeah, it does seem to be a bit of a common theme, injuries at Ipswich, doesn't it? The amount of midfielders getting...
They haven't really shown that they can turn the losing mentality into a winning one. They've had some difficult pre-season games. They've had some stupid ones, like 45-minute fixtures and stuff. I'm not for that.
Okay.
That's just nonsense. But yeah, I don't know. Aside from beating Colchester, like I don't know. Like
for me, I found it very interesting when he came out very early on and said we won't be signing loan players. It's down to the owners now to do something, and all that's been linked in the past couple of weeks is loan players.
Yeah, it became apparent very quickly that his war chest basically became whatever he could find down the back of a sofa.
Right.
It turns out that sofa is very new and has nothing down the back of it. There is nothing.
I think that they've got enough about the young players to have a very productive season. But I think if he could have made one or two more signings, I think Norwood's going to be a fantastic player for you. I think he's really going to score a lot of goals. I think if you could have made one or two signings, I'd have probably had you maybe a little bit higher.
Our defence is a mess.
Yeah, when you're still relying on
everything
Chambers
else is fine, but our defence is a mess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for Ipswich. I think injuries is a massive part of his squad.
Yeah.
And seems to it's just a running theme with Ipswich over the past couple of years. Injuries seem to have a major impact. If you can sort that out, I think it'll be all right. But who knows? Yeah, I've got Peterborough finishing in 5th. Where have you got Peterborough?
Top of the league.
Top of the league. Right. Okay.
They've made some very good signings.
I love everything about Peterborough.
Yeah, they're doing it all right.
I love everything
about them. The
ground
is being developed steadily. They're getting the players in.
Their knowledge of the lower leagues
it's amazing.
Is just insane, and they've got a fantastic owner. They've got I like them. I really like Peterborough.
I can't see past them winning the league.
I think winning is a big call. I think they'll get in the playoffs.
No,
but winning is a massive call because I've got Portsmouth in 2nd and Sunderland in 1st.
I've got Portsmouth 2nd, Sunderland 3rd.
So we've agreed on a couple of things.
Yeah.
Sunderland. They're going to do well again this year.
My bottom half of this league is where I've no real idea.
Yeah.
Like if I'm honest, but some of the calls I feel like I can make some of the calls I've made with confidence, like the one around Coventry and that. And I may end up being completely wrong, but like that's the beauty of it, isn't it?
Like you said, the stadium thing could go one or two ways. It could be we've now got extra motivation to try and do really well, or it's going to be we don't have a permanent home.
I just don't understand.
The fans are not going to travel in their numbers.
But if players let that affect them to the point where they can't perform, what are you doing?
It's interesting. It's an interesting point. Even if you're not a Coventry fan, let us know what you think about it. Let us know. But as I said, if you support any one of these clubs, it'll be really interesting to hear from you. I think we've got a couple that we kind of agree on, but a lot of our predictions are kind of miles apart from each other. But let me know, as I said in the comments.
Wait until you see the League 2 one. That's going to be tragic.
Yeah, I worry about my League 2 predictions with yourself. But yeah, as I said, let us know. We want to hear as many comments as possible. We'll reply to every single one of them. If you're a fan of any of these teams, even if you're not, let us know what you think about our predictions down in the comment section. As I said, we'll reply to all of them. Thank you very much if you've taken the time to watch it. There's been 2 other videos for predictions up already. League 2 is on its way as well, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on that video as well. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until we see each other next time though.
Adios.
Adios.